My absolute favorite part of going to trade shows is the people that you get to meet. You never know who you're gonna meet, and the accessibility of folks in this industry blows me away every single day of those shows. In this video, we get to meet Chris Countryman, Countryman Microphones. They make some absolutely amazing stuff. He was there in the booth and talking to everybody that came by with questions. It was really, really awesome to speak with him and to get the lowdown on the new H7 headset, as well as the A3 Halo and the new bass for their Lectern mics. Let's jump over to Chris.
Let's see, well, we got two new things at this show. There's our H7 headset microphone. It's side address, wide dynamic range, really tightly controlled cardioid puller pattern, very forgiving with placement, lightweight, adjustable head frame with a connector that's rated to 5 atmospheres of water ingress protection, so you can actually go scuba diving with this connector. Oh, wow. And we've got nano coatings on the capsule and on the windscreen, so you can dip the windscreen in a cup of water and pull it out dry. It's protected and kind of, so you're very, very well protected against sweat outs, things like that. And it just sounds really great. So that's our H7.
So we've got the H7 here, and we can select from the drop-down menus what brand we want to have it terminated for. Let's have a look at our electrosonics, and we can see that our PDR is on there. And in the box, you get the H7 headset microphone, the headset cable, you get a black and a white collar clip, you get an H7, a couple of H7 small windscreens there, looks like a small and large, maybe a typo just there. And let's take a look at the tech specs. Now, that's impressive. Looks like they're hanging a 35-pound weight from the cable. That's really impressive. You can see how well it blends in here, almost unnoticeable there against the background of hair, and less than 7 grams is very lightweight and easy to get a good fit. And those replacement cables look to be anywhere from $37 here for the just pigtail end. Just raw basically, but terminated to any number of different connections, Electrosonics, Electro-Voice, Bayer, Audio-Technica, Shure, Sony. You're looking between $55 and $90, which is reasonable for sure. These are very specifically custom-made cables. And there's the 2 different windscreens, as we suspected. That was a little bit of a typo there. There is the small version and the slightly larger, both available in all 4 of their colors. Let's see what the user guide has to say. General tips about cleaning, fitting, and positioning.
New at the show is the A3 Halo Podium microphone. This is a Halo ring added to our A3 Gooseneck microphone. And this is an unusual microphone in that it has 2 microphone elements in it. So we invert and subtract the signal from the second element, and that allows us to create any polar pattern that we want. So you can have a switchable omni, hypercardioid, or cardioid, but also you cancel out a lot of the vibration that reaches those 2 capsules. So table thumps and bumps, you can knock maybe 10 or 20 dB without a shock mount, like straight out of the signal. So it's a very noticeable difference, and something that is additive with anything you've got already, like a shock mount system in a table. But if you are in a house of worship situation where you have beautiful 400-year-old pulpit that you don't want to drill a shock mount into, then you can get away with a mic stand or something simple. Or for conferences or events where you don't have the opportunity to do shock mounting sometimes, it can take one of the most obnoxious parts of working with a gooseneck microphone, the vibrations, the bumping, some of the gripping and kind of creaking noises, and just drop them straight out of the signal.
So let's jump in and take a look at the A3 Halo Podium microphone here. And they come in a number of different patterns: cardioid, hyper, omnidirectional, and then also the A3S, which is selectable. So you can select between the 3 on the fly, which would be my preference. Then in length, you've got the short 12-inch all the way up to the long 24. And the 18-inch size seems to fit most of what I do. Definitely nice to see that they have the 24 and the 12, though, if the 18 isn't appropriate for your installation. installation. And the halo color actually comes in 2 different colors. It'd be neat if this was switchable on the fly, but you can get it in red or green, and those are the options you get with the A3 Halo. The different color halos really look nice there. You can see a really good example of what those would look like. And in my experience, the A3 has just been a really nice microphone to work with. I did a video on it recently where I talked about some of the challenges working with goosenecks and these kind of things in larger events, and how I use a shotgun sometimes mounted underneath to reduce some of those plosives that you get with working with a microphone like this up close. But otherwise, the A3, if you are working with a gooseneck microphone on a lectern or something, the A3 is absolutely one of my top choices. You can see it has excellent RF immunity, and that helps if you've got a lot of folks sitting around boardroom tables or going up to the lectern with Blackberries and cell phones and things of that nature in their pockets. I don't know who uses a Blackberry anymore, but I'm sure there are some folks out there. So here's the tech specs on it, and again, it's the A3. It's the same microphone that you've probably used before, and in the cardioid and hypercardioid, it's just a really nice, predictable microphone. There is a little raise here up in the top end on both the Omni and the cardioid and hyper, but it's a very predictable microphone. These microphones are extremely consistent in my experience when somebody moves around the lectern from side to side. These are a very, very nice option for a consistent microphone that really does minimize a lot of the handling noise and the thumps and bumps and things of that nature that go along with using goosenecks on lecterns in large venues. So that is the A3 Halo, and I really do like their carrying cases are pretty neat. They telescope, and I've always really thought that was cool. That's a really nice little feature, and I always like seeing these come out of a mic kit because it means I'm going to have a pretty easy day.
Yeah, so this base we're launching probably more like August timeframe. It'll have a button in it that allows you to do muting, configurability, what you want the function of it to be, or you can just have the button routed out to your DSP control. And so, nice heavyweight bass. There'll be options for single or dual inputs, and yeah, it's just a nice little accessory piece.
Now, the push-to-talk bass is not on Countryman's website yet. It is so new they haven't actually put it up on the website. So as soon as that's out, I'll try to get a hold of one or try to get some more information on it to share with you price-wise, and we'll take a look at it closer in person in a video and go through everything that it does. And thanks once again to Chris Countryman for taking the time and being so generous with your time, showing us around and showing us all the new things you've got going on this season. It was an absolute pleasure to get to talk to you, and I hope to do so again in the future. We'll be checking in again with Countryman at the NAMM show, hopefully. If we get a chance to squeeze our way into their booth at that show, we'll check back in and see what's going on, and we'll hear more from Chris. So that's it for this time. Thanks again for watching. Thanks to everybody who's watching the videos, who's subscribed, and who visits DcSoundOp.com daily. Lots of updates, more updates every week. I'll see you next time.